Have you ever been really sick while someone you love made
Ouch!
your pain about them? If you've ever tried to manage a chronic illness while dealing with a narcissist, then you know it's like fighting two battles at once, one inside your body and one inside your home. And if you've never heard of the term before, don't worry. I'm going to break it down in a way that will probably make you feel like a light bulb is going off in your head. Welcome to the channel. Here we share what it's like living with spinal stenosis. Let's talk about the diagnosis, focusing on everyday life challenges and ways to thrive whether you have spinal stenosis or not. Before we dive deeper, let me clear up what I mean when I say narcissist. I don't just mean someone who takes selfies or talks about themselves. I'm talking about someone who genuinely lacks empathy, who believes your feelings and needs are inconveniences to them, and who turns your pain into an opportunity for attention or control. You know the type. You say you're hurting and somehow you end up comforting them. You're exhausted, but they're offended that you can't show up the way they want. You're sick, and suddenly they're the victim. And just so we're on the same page, I'm not a doctor or a therapist. This is not medical advice. I'm simply sharing what I've experienced and what I've learned from living with chronic illness, living with spinal stenosis, and dealing with this kind of behavior. Here's the thing. When you get sick, a healthy person leans in. A narcissist, they pull away, or worse, they push harder. When you're managing chronic illness, your energy becomes precious. You don't have extra. You don't have reserves. But that's exactly when a narcissist becomes the most demanding, the most dramatic, and the most dismissive. It's almost like they sense you're vulnerable. And instead of offering help, they go, "Oh, perfect. Now everything can revolve around me again." You might notice things like they get annoyed because you need rest. They downplay your symptoms like you're exaggerating. They say things like, "You're always sick," or "just push through. Just push through it." And the wild part, you're literally fighting your body and somehow you end up apologizing to them. When a narcissist sees you don't have strength to fight, that's when they pick at you the most. Suddenly your tone is a problem. You're acting different. Suddenly your pain is making you negative. Meanwhile, you're just trying to breathe through the symptoms. Then comes the guilt. You think being sick would earn you compassion. But with a narcissist, it becomes something they use. You rest, you're lazy. You cancel plans, you're selfish. You follow your doctor's orders, you're overreacting. You ask for help, you're a burden. It gets so heavy that you start questioning if you're allowed to prioritize your health. Let me tell you, you are absolutely right. So what do you do when you're sick and being emotionally drained? First, give yourself permission to set boundaries. Not dramatic ones, simple ones. I need to rest now. I can't take this conversation on. I'm not explaining my symptoms again. These aren't selfish. They're necessary. Second, write things down. Not because you owe the narcissist proof, but because when illness and manipulation pile up, your brain may get foggy. Seeing patterns in your own notes helps you remember. No, I'm not imagining this. This is a real pattern. And then you have the date you wrote it down. Third, don't isolate yourself. Narcissists thrive when you have no support system. Find at least one person who believes you and understands your chronic illness. someone who doesn't roll their eyes at your symptoms. Your experience deserves to be witnessed by someone who cares. And most importantly, stop trying to make a narcissist care about your pain. You could show them every lab result, every scan, every medical note, and they'll still make it about them. In this case, the proof's not in the pudding. Your health is real. Your pain is real. Your illness does not need their validation. If you're living with spinal stenosis or chronic illness while dealing with a narcissist, you are not alone. Your symptoms are real. Your exhaustion is real, and you need compassion. Your compassion is valid. If you feel comfortable, share your experience below. What have you lived through? What did it look like for you? Let's build a community where no one has to battle their body and someone's ego at the same time.